Instead of going the bombing and the underground weather underground movement. Why do I keep calling it underground weather movement? Weather underground movement. Instead of going, I know you don't want to bomb places and kill people. I understand that. Well, I mean, you don't want to kill people with bombs. You want to do it with a knife or a gun. I understand that. Or make it look like suicide. By the way, there were a lot of suicides in her past.
Interesting.
A lot.
Interesting.
So he said to her, and I'm just speculating. Hillary, you got to find you the right man. He's got to be that charismatic guy. He's got to be that guy that everybody loves, that he get them all fired up and give those fiery speeches. You got to find that one guy. And she says to Saul, who is it? And the devil says, Saul Alinsky says, there's a silver-tongued young man that I know. His name
was it arranged marriage?
Oh, yes!
Oh.
And said, you got to lock horns with it. You've got to stay with him. This is your meal ticket for the White House.
Oh, she could never make the White. I mean, it was her meal ticket to get in the White House as First Lady.
Correct.
I could totally see that.
And all the things that Bill allowed her to do while he was president is unprecedented. For Hillary to be in charge of so much and so many decision-making processes was unprecedented and unheard of. First ladies never acted as the vice president. And Hillary...
Oh, are you kidding me? Vice presidents have no power.
Okay, so...
Have you ever heard my analogy? The analogy? So my analogy when it comes to relationships between men and women is that men are like the race car at the Indy 500.
Okay.
They are the race car. They're the ones that everybody sees racing around the track. They're the one with all the horsepower.
Real flashy.
They're the ones with the horsepower. They're the ones doing
a lot of drive.
They got a lot of drive, and everybody sees the car. They see the number on the side, and they're like, that car is the fastest one on the track, whatever. The women, the female of the relationship, the wife, is the driver. She's the one with the foot on the pedal, their hand on the steering wheel, maneuvering that thing.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Right.
So when you talk about a man who is technically, officially, the president of the United States, the first lady is the one with the hands on the steering wheel and the foot on the gas.
They used to say in the military that the wives of the generals would make the decisions of how the base would go down.
Of course.
Literally, the commissary, the BX, the PX, the foods, the different things that you could get. You know, if the generals' wives wanted it was given.
There's a lot of talk of the pillow talk and everything. How a lot of big policy gets made.
I mean, look at General Petraeus. Pillow talk.
I don't know what
just happens to be his mistress.
Oh yeah, that's when
bulging.
That's why mistresses. That's bad because you don't know where And then you got the spies. Russia would send beautiful supermodels.
Oh yeah,
not Russia, Soviet Union,
right.
To go and get with all the politicians, and then they would get all the
so difficult.
We did it to Castro, didn't we? Send like an ex-girlfriend of his or something. The CIA got her all trained up, sent her to go kill Castro.
Wow.
And then when she faced him, she said, I've been sent by the CIA.
Remember when I loved you and you loved me? And he said, yeah.
Now get out of here.
Yeah, meet my friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
Cesar Chavez. What?
Che
Guevara.
Yes.
Che Guevara. Meet my friend Che. Hey, did you know Che Guevara, helping out Castro in Cuba, he loved killing so much that in his office he had one of the walls completely knocked out and replaced with a giant glass window overlooking the firing squad.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, Che.
He was overlooking
his office. Well, the wall was overlooking the firing squad.
So he had to replace with window.
A big, giant glass pane window so that he could watch the firing squad killing and murdering on a regular basis.
Sick.
By the way, Che Guevara was on the run, captured by capitalists.
Okay.
They were all farmers, and they believed in capitalism and believed in working hard, working the land. Farmers.
You mean instead of taking everybody through the force of law?
Or like cramming for an exam the night before to pass it.
Wow, did you hear what happened this week?
No, you can't cram the seeds in the ground the day before.
The terrorist.
Oh, wow.
You didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
We'll get that.
So, cramming seed in the ground in October, hoping to pull in the harvest, or it's September, hoping to pull in the harvest for October. You don't do that. It's the law of the land. So he went there, Che did, on the run, trying to assemble these farmers in South America to be a commune. And they said, no way! So they locked him up, captured him, called the local police department officials, and that is how Che was caught by capitalists. So anyways, let's get to Hillary. Hillary and the Iowa stolen caucus.
Oh, yeah, we have some things to report about that.
Apparently, George Soros, who backed Obama in 2008, he also made a large gift in the amount of $6 million check to Priorities USA, Hillary Clinton's top super PAC. He did it on December 17th, dipping his feet fully into the Clinton effort as she tries to beat back a surprisingly strong challenger from Bernie. She was supposed to win this. This is her coronation, if you will. She was born and bred for success. This is to be hers. And she's seeing it slowly slip away. In the race in the run-up in Iowa, it was neck and neck. Bernie Sanders out there, Hillary Clinton out there. All the different reports, the way it came down, there were 6 delegates that were unaccounted for, and they had to account for them. So instead of dividing up the delegates 50-50,
there had to be it was a tie, right? And they had to decide who to give the delegate to. So,
well, before they gave the delegates out, Hillary was leading Sanders by a little bit.
Okay.
If they gave
there were precincts that were officially tied.
Correct.
And the way, and this is by law, they didn't just make this up on the fly, but by law, they are to...
By Democrat Party rules.
Right. Their rules are that it is to be settled by a coin flip. And when I first read this story, the first time I heard it was actually Brian sent it to me, and I started actually read it on Sick Bias. That was the first time I saw it. Seriously. And then I said, obviously the way this was written, that this is a joke. This isn't real. They're not talking actual coin flips.
Right.
I thought they meant that these were they were 50-50. It was so close it was a coin flip.
Well, here's the numbers. Clinton had 699.5 and Sanders had 695.4.
Okay.
So 99 to 95.
Okay, so when I'm reading this article and it says that Hillary won coin flips, I didn't know until later when I saw other articles that they actually flipped a physical coin. I thought what they were referring to close calls that could have went either way.
Right. No.
No. They actually flipped a physical coin in 6 different, was it precincts?
Right.
And so that's when I realized the seriousness of what happened, which was that there were only 6, and in all 6 of them, Hillary won. This is so dumb on their part. How do they think they could get away with this?
They couldn't even give him one.
Right.
Give him one.
If they gave him one, this would have totally been like, wow, she's lucky. If it was 5-1, I would have said, wow, she really got tough break to Bernie. Tough break to Bernie. And wow, she's got fate on her side. If it was 4-2, I would have been like,
Whew.
oh, that was
fair.
You know what? It was a little lucky on her.
Yeah.
So it was 3-3. I'd have been like, okay, well, that's whatever.
It's a half coin toss. 50-50.
But 6-1, this stinks to high heaven of corruption.
So they did the breakdown of a 6-1. That turns
Well,
out
I could describe the math behind it.
what it turns out to be a 1 in 64,
Right.
which breaks down to 1.5% chance of that happening.
Right. And for those of you that don't realize, and you could bust out a coin and try this yourself, in order to guess it correctly the first time, it's a 50-50 shot.
Correct.
So every single time you flip it, it's a 50-50 shot. In order to get it right 2 times in a row, it's 50% divided by 2, which is 1 1/4. So you have 1 1/4 chance of flipping it twice and getting it right both times.
So 25% chance.
Right.
Okay.
You flip it a third time, and you got to chop that in half. So now it's
12.5.
well, you got a 12.5% chance of getting 3 in a row correct. So if you won heads all 3 times, and you're only going to flip it 3 times, you got a 12% chance of nailing it all 3 times.
Okay, so there's a 50% chance of rain. Yeah, it probably might rain today. It's a 25% chance of rain. I might not even see it. 12% chance of rain today.
I'm not even going to consider it.
I'm not taking an umbrella.
So now 4 flips in a row, you got to chop it in half again. You're down to 7.5% on 4.
Okay, so 7.5% chance of rain.
What was it? 12.5?
Yeah,
so
12.5.
Oh, so 7. It was a 6.75.
Yeah, 6.75.
6.75% chance of 4 in a row, and then 5, got to chop it in half again.
So 3 and 3.75. 3.375. So 3 1/3. 3.13.
Yeah. 3.385 or something like that.
75.
Okay, so yeah. So you're down to only 3 1/3%. Yeah.
Okay, now cut that in half.
Now you're down to 1 point whatever you said.
They said it was like 1.5.
Okay, 1.5% chance.
So if there's a 1.5% chance of rain today, how many times has it rained on a 1.5% chance of rain?
Sometimes it ends up being a downpour. Oh, yeah, it's just...
That is insane!
And some of the pundits out there, I think Hannity might have done this. He said, it's just a statistical impossibility. It's not impossible. If you've ever been to a roulette wheel that has the screen that tells you whether it was red, the history screen, whether it says it was black or red, sometimes you'll get 12 in a row of black.
Oh, yes.
12 so
everybody's betting black.
Yeah, they're like, well, I guess it's going to keep coming. I'm the opposite. I'm like, well... Reds obviously do.
Right.
It's due.
Right.
So start betting red. No, but anyway, yeah, and if I started that on the 5th roll, that would have been a disaster.
Okay, so here's what would have happened. If Sanders would have won half, been 50-50, split them, and then it might even have been the fair way of doing it, splitting them half and half instead of coin tossing.
Right.
You get half, you get half. If he would have had 3 of the delegates, and Clinton, she would have had 3. It would have wound up Sanders 698 to Clinton 696.
So he would have won on 50-50.
Oh, yes.
So
he would have won by 2 points.
It was stolen.
It had to have been.
Well,
I mean,
there's a 1.5% chance that it was not stolen.
Right, there's a
98.5% chance that Clinton stole this thing.
Okay, so you're going to go buy a lottery ticket, and there's a 98.5% chance you're going to win.
There's got to be corruption.
Yeah, there has to be.
Right. Oh.
So there was a viral video that went around. Apparently, somebody with a cell phone in the Democrat headquarters was following one of the workers as they were counting the heads. And she was going 190, 191, 192, 193, 92, 93, 96, 199, 189, 190, 191.
What?
Yeah, it's a viral. It went out viral. One of the news channels
on
put it
video?
up. Yeah. One of the news channels put it out.
Seriously?
And They're claiming that 60 votes were never counted. There's 60 missing